Stage is set. Literally, look, South Florida. Taylor's ready to perform at Hard Rock Stadium, and it's the last leg of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. It kicks off tonight at Hard Rock Stadium, just one of three huge sold-out shows. And we're making sure that there's no bad blood out there with a fearless start to your day. Do you have your tickets yet? There is so much information we need to know about this show. Good morning, South Florida. It's almost 6:30 here on a Friday, on a memorable Friday. It's going to be a huge weekend for T-Swift and Swifties all across the area as we're getting ready for a real Swiftie moment. And speaking of Swiftie, we want to get out live to my co-anchor, my friend, my colleague, Constance Jones, who is channeling her latest era from Hard Rock Stadium this morning for the big night, for the big weekend. And I got to know, which era is this? I'm not too keen on the... I know there's 11 albums, 11 different eras. Which one are you right now?
The hat didn't give it away, Chris.
Well, red would be my guess.
It's the red era. Good job. Yes, totally, yes.
Awesome. Trivia question. Got to give you a trivia question. Easy one, right? You ready? What's Taylor Swift's favorite
yes, I am ready.
And lucky number? Her favorite number, her lucky number is?
13. I got it right.
Ding, 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 ding. You are right.
I think I did. Yeah, 13 is her lucky number. And you know what? We're super excited that Taylor Swift and all the Swifties are in town for this amazing concert. And yes, I am channeling the red era this morning. I've got the red lips. I've got the red fedora. And so that's what we've been doing all morning long, having fun with this concert. It's so exciting. And we're happy here in South Florida that she is ending her concert tour here. So let's give you some details about the end of this chapter for T-Swift. So as we had mentioned, tonight is the end of the tour here in South Florida. This is her official last leg of the tour. She's only going to be in 3 cities in the United States. Things kick off here at Hard Rock Stadium tonight. Then she'll be heading to New Orleans and Indianapolis for 3 nights before heading to Canada. The superstar surely is going to be making someone's wildest dreams come true this weekend. But before all that, we've got to see if we're going to be getting some midnight rain. We have the wind. My goodness, Adam, you'd think you're in a tornado out here. It's so windy. That's why I had to put on my hat. Let us know what the forecast is going to be.
It is definitely, it's actually interesting. I actually, in my write-up yesterday, said it's hold on to your hat, whether you are wearing a hat, and I saw you holding on to it. So, yeah, that phrase actually true to life this time around. Very strong high pressure north of us, and we get that east wind whipping in off the Atlantic. There are no trees, no mountains, nothing to slow that wind down, right? No friction. So those winds really come howling in. So that's definitely in the forecast here. So we're converting Hard Rock Stadium into a big concert venue, obviously, as we host Taylor Swift this evening. But we need to know about the forecast, right? So, look, obviously we know it's going to be windy already. We've made that perfectly clear. Now we got to get to the rain situation here, right? What we don't want is wind and rain. We've got the wind, and I did, unfortunately, you can see the raindrops falling a little bit. I did have to up the rain chances a little bit. Some of the models, excuse me, trying to push some of those showers down through the Florida Straits, kind of back into our backyard. And I think of the 3 evenings here, where we're looking at concerts, probably this evening has the best chance of rain with it. We're going to go 30% right now, but the NBC6 First Alert Weather team will be watching this very closely for you. Very windy as well, so continuing to hold on to your hat. And then we go into Saturday night's forecast. The winds dial back a tiny bit. Still breezy, though. Still officially pretty gusty. 20% chance of showers. And I think something similar on Sunday as well. About a 20% chance of some of these showers here. And, yeah, still officially on the breezy side. We dial it back a little bit. Again, tonight we'll watch very closely. It looks like the best chance for rain.
Are you ready for it?
That's right. Swiftie fans are going to be taking over Hard Rock Stadium this weekend. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Tens of thousands of folks are going to be lining the streets here. So there's some important housekeeping things you need to know if you're planning to come out. Woo! Hold on one second. I've got to hold the hat. I don't want to lose that on TV, but there's some important housekeeping things you need to know if you're planning on coming out to the concert tonight, tomorrow, or this weekend. One of the biggest things is that you're going to need a ticket. Super important. And you're also going to need a parking pass. So let's give you the graphics and information. A prepaid parking pass is absolutely required if you're planning on coming out here for the concert. Parking passes may only be purchased by ticket holders for the date that matches their tickets, their concert tickets, and cannot be purchased on site. So this is something you have to buy in advance. Only fans with parking passes and a valid concert ticket, they're able to tailgate at the stadium. But if you don't have one of these parking passes and these tickets, you're not going to be able to come here. There is no listening area for people without tickets at all. Police and stadium security, they're out here in full effect. As I mentioned earlier, I was trying to find a place to park and security quickly rerouted me. So they're here and they'll be here this entire weekend to make sure everybody is safe. Also, fans using the park and ride buses will be required to scan their concert tickets before they even board that bus. Fans will have to go through a number of security and ticket checkpoints before going through. And parents, here's some important things to know. If you're planning on dropping off your kiddos or picking them up, pay attention to this. You need to go to the designated areas. There's going to be 3 drop-off locations: Lot 14, Lot 15, and Lot 31. They're going to be open starting at 3:30 this afternoon, also on Saturday and Sunday. Also, pickups are going to be between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. in the evening time. Now, if you come after 10:30, you're expected to go to Lot 31 instead. Also, the clear bag policy in full effect as well. That means aerosol cans, alcohol, cigarettes, e-cigarettes, seat cushions, computers, tablets, video cameras, selfie sticks. That is not allowed, along with strollers. You can find more information on everything you need to know if you're heading to the concert on our website at NBC6.com. But hey, if you're not even heading to the concert and you live in South Florida, you'll be driving near the Golden Glades, maybe driving in Miami Gardens. You're going to want to know what the delays are going to be like. So we have our expert here with those details, our traffic anchor, Joanna Torres. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Constance, you said it right. We're already used to seeing major backups around the Golden Glades interchange area, which is near where the Hard Rock Stadium is, right? So you can expect extreme delays Friday, Saturday, and Sunday due to these closures for the Taylor Swift concert. So the closures that are definitely going to be in place is going to be the Turnpike 2X ramp, and on-ramp and exit ramp is going to be closed for a certain amount of time. And then between Northwest 27th Avenue and Northwest 14th Court on Northwest 199th Street is going to be completely closed as well. This is happening throughout the entire weekend, and those closures are going to be taking place between 7 o'clock in the morning and 3 p.m. and also after the concert between 10:30 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. So even if you're not going to the concert, you're going to want to seek those alternate routes because the Turnpike is definitely going to be impacted by these closures. And there's probably going to be additional closures as well if you're going to have to pay attention to those detours with police that are going to be on site directing traffic. So definitely give yourself packing your patience and just make sure you are prepared for all those heavy delays that are definitely going to be in place, Constance, because even when there isn't a concert, we see delays around that area, right? So now with the madness with the Swifties, it's going to be pretty extreme. And I love your hat, by the way, looking good.
Thank you so much, Joe. What's your favorite era? Are you a fan of the red, 1989, folklore? Which one do you think channels your inner Swiftie?
I feel like I've jumped in between the eras. So I don't, all of them. Not just one in particular, So I'm one of those that likes a song here and there from all the eras, Got to give the girl credit. She's pretty talented.
You're right. You're right. You're right. That's good. Playing it neutral this morning, Joe. Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, we want to know what's your favorite era. What are you going to be dressed like for the concert? Maybe you're going to be having your red fedora hat on, dressed in all red for the red era, maybe 1989. We want to see your pictures, so we've made it easy for you. All you have to do is scan the QR code that's on your screen right now and send us your pictures. Send us pictures of your friendship bracelets, you getting ready for the big event. You might be featured right here on NBC6. Back to you in the studio.
All right, speaking of eras, we're in the election era because it is only a couple of weeks away. Can you believe we're already here? Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump hit the campaign trail to talk about two very different audiences, The vice president, campaigned across battleground Wisconsin yesterday, while former President Trump joined a more lighthearted political tradition at the Alfred Smith charity dinner in New York City last night.
Consequences of him ever getting his foot back in the Oval Office are brutally serious.
These days, it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
Vice President Harris declined the invitation to appear at the bipartisan dinner. She is the first presidential nominee to not attend in decades, but she did provide a video message. The nominees are now drawing some billionaire backing as well. Elon Musk has donated nearly $75 million to Donald Trump's aligned groups. Mark Cuban, meantime, is stumping for Kamala Harris. He is not a political donor, but he has been ramping up attacks against her opponent, Donald Trump. All right, here locally, Royal Caribbean is facing legal troubles after passengers filed a class action lawsuit. It has to do with hidden cameras placed in staterooms by a former employee. That employee has since been fired and is now serving prison time. But passengers say the cruise line could have done more to protect them. For more on this, we want to get out live to NBC6's Bree Buckley. She is live with the very latest on this brand new class action lawsuit and what we know. Bree?
Yeah, many passengers who joined the class action lawsuit say they're frustrated and angry, searching for answers from the cruise line. Now, Arvin Marisol is serving 30 years in federal prison for hiding cameras in passenger cabin bathrooms and recording video of both adults and children. He's a former stateroom attendant for Royal Caribbean. A New Hampshire woman we spoke with believes she, along with her husband and 13-year-old son, were some of the many victims. She asked us to conceal her identity, saying this entire ordeal has caused her overwhelming anxiety and worry.
Memory of him sort of being very adamant about wanting to enter into our cabin room, and he wanted to fill the soap dispenser that was located in the shower. You know, sleeping in hotels is it's challenging. Even public bathrooms, changing rooms, it's hard, and I try to avoid them because I don't want to be violated again.
NBC6 reached out to Royal Caribbean. A spokesperson sent us this statement saying, quote, "The safety and privacy of our guests is our highest priority, and we have zero tolerance for this behavior. We immediately reported the case to law enforcement and terminated the crew member. As this is pending litigation, we are unable to comment further at this time," end quote. Now, the attorney believes there could be upwards of 1,000 people who were victims of this, but have no idea. Currently, there's no state law that says the cruise line has to inform people if they were possibly victims of the video voyeurism. But the attorney is hoping that this litigation can help change that. For now, reporting live, Bree Buckley, NBC6 News.
We're learning more about the raid that happened in Aventura that we told you about on Thursday. Officers were looking for a man named Nahim Bonilla. Bonilla owns the companies Mandrake and Ruido Callejero Music. The indictment claims that he is tied to a sophisticated network that coordinated the transportation of drugs from California into Canada. He's named as a co-defendant along with more than 10 others in this federal indictment. The FBI is also looking for a former Canadian Olympian. His name is Ryan Wedding, who they say is connected to this case. The feds say Bonilla planned to distribute the drugs for Wedding and several others. The FBI released these images of the huge cocaine bust in Oak Hills, California. Earlier this year, which is part of the case here in South Florida. According to the indictment, the defendants used encrypted messages to try to avoid law enforcement. They were ultimately captured after a tip from an FBI informant. The FBI's Los Angeles office is leading this investigation. This morning, the search for a man on your screen who is accused of carjacking a vehicle during a test drive with a local dealership. Take a look. Pretty good look at him. Do you recognize who that man is? Police say he took off in a 2019 Infiniti in Southwest Miami-Dade back in September. Now, according to one of the owners of the dealership, the man was calmly looking at the cars. Then he asked if he could drive one.
He starts exiting or trying to exit the vehicle. My salesman starts doing the same thing. As my salesman is already kind of on the way out, he just takes off. Door slams behind my salesman and never see him again.
Just like that, the suspect and the car were gone. The vice president of the dealership says the vehicle is worth about $15,000. If you recognize the man, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers, 305-471-TIPS. That number is there on your screen. And remember, you can stay anonymous. All right, 6:42 is your time. What do you have planned this weekend? I bet a lot of people say Taylor Swift concert. So let's get out live to Hard Rock Stadium. Constance Jones is there with the red fedora and all, channeling her era, the red era.
You're exactly right. Good morning, South Florida. Yeah, we're talking all things Taylor this morning, but you don't have to go to the concert to enjoy some fun, free activities that are happening across South Florida. I'll fill you in just a few moments.